This is the top 10 fastest checkmates. I hope you're ready for it. Let's get right into it. This first one is number 10, the Budapest smothered mate. You've probably seen it before. If you haven't, here we go. D4, knight of 6, C4, and then E5. It's just saying, go ahead, take my pawn on E5. I'm giving it to you, right? And of course, this comes with complications. So D takes E5 happens. Many people take the pawn. Knight to G4, moving the knight out of danger. Also attacking the E5 pawn at the same time, right? White says, I want to keep the pawn that I just captured from you that you gave me for free. So knight to F3. Knight F3 defends the pawn. We need to attack this pawn again or else we are going to get kicked away. So knight to C6, we're attacking the pawn once again, saying, please give me the pawn back and I'll have some development. At the same time, White says, not today. I'm going to keep this pawn because you gave it to me and it's for free. So bishop to F4, now we're defending it twice when it's attacked twice and we're taking first, so we're going to lose a piece there. That's not going to work out. So, well, Black goes with bishop to B4 check, which is a very nice move, developing. Get your pieces out. You need to do this in every single game. White says, I need to defend, right? If we go knight C3, okay, we have a damage of the structure, double pawns, 2 sets of double pawns. That's not the most fun thing ever, right? Then if we go with the bishop back to D2, then E5 will be hanging. If knight back to D2, then again, E5 will be hanging. And if queen to D2, we're just going to take the queen. So queen D2 is not really a good move at all. In fact, knight B to D2 is the move that they choose. Keeping the knight and the bishop in the same squares to defend the pawn here, right? And we still, as Black here, have to figure out, how do we win this pawn? Black says easy. Queen E7, we go right here. We're going to attack this pawn right here. Now we're attacking it 3 different times, only defended by 2 pieces. We're going to win this pawn. So White says, okay, nothing I can really do about it. Well, at least give me the bishop pair with A3. Pawn to A3. And this right here is where the magic happens. So like, what is checkmate? Where? How can you checkmate with all these pieces around the king? Well, we're about to show you right now. The move here, spectacular. Pause the video if you need to, but of course it's Black to move. Here it is. Black plays. Knight takes G5. Whoa, knight G takes E5. That is a big boy move from a big fella. It doesn't look like it makes any sense though, right? I'm just taking a pawn when my bishop is attacked. What sense does that even make? Well, let's see what happens after A takes B4. Hopefully you can find the move. Pause the video. What is the move? Black to move. The checkmate is knight to D3, smothered. Here we go with number 9. This one is called the England Gambit mate. Now, very similar to the Budapest Gambit. Let's see what it is. After D4, E5 that we see a lot in the Budapest Gambit, but White's still saying, hey, you're going to give me the pawn? I'm going to take it. So he captures the pawn. D takes E5. Boom. Thank you very much for that. Now, Black says, hey, I need to get my pawn back. So we put the queen on E7 this time instead of knight to C6, right? Well, no, it's very strange because the queen's in front of the bishop, and we saw in the Budapest Gambit that the bishop comes out to B4 to check. After queen E7 attacks the pawn, knight F3 defends the pawn. We need to attack it again, or else what are we doing? Knight to C6, right? So we attack this pawn not once, but twice now. And White does that we've seen in the Budapest Gambit as well. And just simple things, defending the pawn. The pawn wants to and needs to be defended, right? So we defend it with bishop to F4. Now, here comes the trick. After bishop to F4, we go queen B4 check, triple attack. Not only the king's under fire in check, the bishop is attacked, and B2 is under fire as well, under attack. So White goes with, you know what, hey, I'm not going to let you take my bishop. If I go C3 or move the knight, you're going to just take the bishop, right? Queen blocking is going to run into some tricks with queen B2 and bishop over to B4. Very scary stuff. So, hey, I'll bishop B2. I'm totally fine with this. I'll back up, right? You're not going to take this pawn. You're going to hit the queen. And now that the queen is attacked, queen takes B2, attacks the rook here. Now we have the move that we wanted to play as White here, which is bishop to C3. Bishop C3 is now saying, hey, I'm going to attack your queen and defend my rook at the same time. Question mark move, because it is a question mark move. It is in trouble right now. White is, after bishop to C3, bishop to B4. Great move here. I didn't have to move my queen. Best defense is offense. So we actually attack this bishop while defending our queen. You can't take it because we'll take the king immediately. It's pinned, can't do anything about it. So White says, all right, cool. Queen D2. I have everything under control right now, says White. At least they think so. After we make this move right here, bishop to C3 ends it on the spot. How is that possible? If knight takes C3, decisive material loss, you can hit the button. Resign, that is. Queen takes A1 and you are done, right? That's going to be check. We're going to lose. You're going to lose some decisive material. It's game over. So that's why we put the queen on D2, says White. So queen takes C3. It's a double question mark. Why? Because it's mate. Black to move. What do? The move here is queen to C1. And he's done. Mate. England Gambit trap. Another one. we got him, okay? Coming in at number 8, we have the Owens Defense Fool's Mate pattern. Let's check this one out. This one's a cool one right here. We start with E4 and then B6. Very strange, but of course it's very playable. It's the Owens Defense. Sometimes you see it in the French as well. Next move, D4. Take the whole center if they give it to you. Bishop B7 and Bishop D3. I'd like playing against the Owens Defense this way as well. This trap is very fun and it can happen to your opponent today. F5. After the F5 move, looks crazy, but of course it has actually some merit to it. After pawn takes F5, E takes F5, bishop takes G2. Boom. Haha, gotcha. Tricked you, except we tricked you. Queen H5, and we live. That's a big move. Check. Okay, cool. That's awesome, but I can defend it, right? G6, says black. Cool. When you take or do anything, I'm going to take the rook. I'm going to be up some indecisive material. Falling into the trap. F takes G6. Boom. Right? Okay, we can take this. We're threatening G7. We're threatening, both of these are checkmate, by the way. Very cool checkmate, except if I go knight F6. Haha, double question mark, but it actually is hitting the queen. Has some nice merit here. If I go G7, hey, you can take the queen. Wow, that's kind of annoying. If I move the queen, again, I'm going to take this rook. But white has an outstanding move, and that move is G takes H7. Oh my goodness, the man has left the building. Wait, what? My queen's hanging. Take it. Knight takes H5. Thank you, appreciate it. I'm sure you can spot the move now. He never got around to taking his rook on H1 because he's done. After this move right here, Bishop G6 is mate. This is the Owens Defense Fool's Mate pattern. Coming in at number 7, we have the Italian game Smothered Mate, or aka the Blackburn Shilling Gambit. It actually comes from that. Now here it is. This is for black. After E4, E5, right, standard stuff. Knight F3, knight to C6. You see this all the time. So many times, I'm sure you even played this today. Knight to C6, bishop to C4. Developing Italian game, quiet game, etc., stuff like that. But it gets very, very loud after a move like knight to D4. You've never seen this one. What is this? Your opponent's already tricked. I have no idea why is he moving the knight twice and giving up his E5 pawn. I'm just going to take it. Knight takes E5, falling right into the trap. Queen G5, and we live. We hit the knight and G2 at the same time. But white's like, wait, what? It's just, what are you doing? Knight takes F7 anyway. What? I'm forking the queen and the rook. Now you see the double question mark there. But as a human, what is this? I'm forking. I should be winning on the spot, right? Black says, hold on a minute. Queen takes G2. I'm going to attack this rook. It's also a double attack, right? And we're attacking at E4. White says, you know what? Move the rook. Defend it. It's fine. Nothing's wrong. Guess what? I still have a rook in the bag here, right? But it's black to move. In fact, he's already lost. White, that is. Queen takes E4 check. Wee. Wait, I could just block this, right? Block with the queen? Oh, no, we're not going to do that. Come on, this is a family channel. But bishop to E2 is. I see you looking at it right now. It's black to move. What do? The move is knight for mate. It's smothered. Get him off the board. Here we are with number 6. This one is the Caro-Kann Smothered Mate, a very common one that can happen in your games literally today. Let's see what this is. E4, C6, a Caro-Kann, very solid opening, right? We always usually go D4 in these moves. You got lots of moves you can make, but D4 is the usual move in this position. After D5, after the D5 move, white goes knight to C3. D takes E4. We say we're going to take back, so we take it back. Knight takes E4. Knight to D7. The goal here is to develop so we can capture back with the knight. So white goes queen to E2, right? Strange move. What is with these strange queen moves here? Well, let's see what happens. After queen to E2, knight F6. Following the plan, double question mark. Following the plan, like we just said, we wanted to do is put this knight on F6, but it's a wrap on the spot. White to move, what do? Here it is. Knight D6. Simple, smothered mate with a little bit of gravy, a little bit of smothered and some gravy there. And here we are with number 5. This one is from a bird's opening. In fact, it's a fool's mate pattern from the bird's opening. Let's check and see what that is. F4, the bird, pretty unorthodox here. You don't see this a lot, but if you do, you can actually try this trick literally today. After F4, E4, these gambits and these cool things and these pawn sacrifices just seem to work with the right moves behind it. After E5, okay, we're giving up a pawn. White says, I'll happily take that one. What are you going to do? Queen E7 or knight C6? This isn't a Budapest or an England gambit, but in fact, we're going to play D6, offer another pawn. Here, have another pawn. After D6, E takes D6. White says, cool, I'll take it. I'm up a pawn. Thank you, appreciate it. And then bishop takes D6 here. So white says, all right, cool. You know what? Got the pawn. I'm feeling good. Let's just develop a piece. Knight to C3, double question mark. Get him off the board. Black to move here. What do? Here it is. The move here is queen H4 for the score. Oh, man, that hurts. This is a check, though. What do you mean? So after G3, we block it. Now you have two ways to do this. And the most spectacular way is, well, of course, the saying goes, when you can sack your queen, you do it. Don't try that at home. But after queen takes g3, ace takes g3, and then bishop takes g3, is mate. Beautiful mate here. And here we are with number 4. This is a Dutch defense fool's mate pattern, right? So let's go to this one and let's see what it looks like. d4, f5, right? These f pawns is some, hey, be careful pushing your f pawn, okay? Just be careful from either side. Now after d4, f5, bishop g5. This is a cool move here, provoking some pawn pushes. So h6 attacks the bishop. The bishop has to move or we'll just capture it, so we back it up. But wait, isn't the bishop just trapped? What is this? g5 says black. Yo, your bishop is trapped. When you move it to g3, I'm going to play f4 and trap you in there and take your bishop. But white has a clever move. That clever move is, you know what, hey, you can have the bishop, e4. Oh, wow. Oh, no, my bishop. I just hung my bishop, right? And then he takes the bishop and stares at you, but then you stare back at them and play queen h5 checkmates. Game over. All right, guys, this one's number 3. This is for my scholars out there. This one's called Scholar's Mate. All right, so here we go. e4, e5, bishop c4. Get the bishop out. You've probably seen this one. Let's see it in action. After e4, e5, bishop to c4, develop the piece, get the bishop out of the outside of the pawn chain. We can also lock it outside the pawn chain, but we just want to develop it and attack f7. After bishop c4, knight to c6, defends the pawn. It just develops. And we bring the queen out. Here it is. Boom, queen h5. Very simple. You can go for this checkmate all the time. Now, of course, not recommended all the time, but definitely you need to know this checkmate. After queen to h5, it's hitting the f7 square twice. Knight to f6. What is he doing? What are you doing? Queen f7. And that's mate. For all the scholars out there, keep up the great work. Here we are with number 2. This one's called Grob's Attack, but it definitely is not an attack for white here. After g4, this is called the Grob. This is a strange opening. You may have pasted before, but it is definitely strange. Here's a good move from black here. They go e5. Hey, just take the center if you're going to do crazy stuff. I'm just going to continue to take the center. White continues to do crazy stuff and play f4 here. What on earth is this move? We don't know, but we will play checkmate when it's there. Queen h4 checkmates. Getting off the board, allowing a fool's mate is what they'll call this here. But f4 and g4 pawns pushed. We played e5. Queen h4 is mate. On the move, that's number 2. Here we are with the last one of our top 10 fastest checkmates. Can you guess what this one is? We kind of hinted at it before. Maybe you've known or seen this one before. This is like the fastest one. f3, right? Which some people do still play. f3, not the greatest opening. It also opens up the king, but hey, black's just saying, hey, whatever, you can play whatever you like. I'm going to play e5. I'm going to put a pawn in the center of the board. Principles. White says, you know what? f3 was nice. Let's try g4 too as well. But that fails immediately. I'm sure you know what that is. Queen h4 checkmate, fool's mate on the board. That's what they call this one. Fool's mate. This is the top 10